Hey everyone, thanks for sticking with us. We are here at match 3 of tonight's MSEM Cube League. We've managed to follow Kayiu all the way from the draft to the top table here. Kayiu performed incredibly in match 2, and let's see if Kayiu has what it takes to take down Nyx over here, who seems to be on this sort of like 5-color like absurdity package. I wasn't able to catch much of the match, but there's a lot of stuff going on here. There's ramp, there's more ramp, there's fixing, there's more ramp, there's top ends, there's card draw, removal, everything you would want. Over on Kaiyu's side, it's what we've come to grow accustomed to, but I believe Kayiu had to go all the way down to, is it a 5 or a 4? Yeah, pardon me, it looks like there was a big mulligan there. So Leyline Invoker, 1-3. I mean, the mill plan's not horrible, but it looks like we did not choose to do the mill. We're just, I think, going to keep around. Maybe get some value, but we'll see. There goes Sinner Solace. There goes Unrelenting. But, I mean, it's not bad. Celestial Concordance is alright. And we have our white here off of Sunrise Orchard. Means we don't get the triple black. This is kind of a tough pinch here. And there's just so many cards here in Nyx's hand. Some big payoffs at the end here in Salome? Yeah, Salome. Megalo Kraken, Lian-Tai-Z. So some big stuff going on here. So swinging in for 1, blocking with the 1-3, which actually makes a difference because of Fires of Renewal. The good old classic, you know, take that extra little bit of damage here, but you know, also takes away your L, which is a real deal. I mean, L's backside is quite strong here in Valir End of All Worlds, so honestly, it's a trade you're probably happy to make. This is actually nice that we found the 4th land. I'm assuming we're going to go for Determined here. That's going to start letting us double draw, which is going to be really big because Kayiu is really behind on cards in hand. The treasure here is neat. The Wayfarer Shrine. There's a forest that's coming out here. Lots of mana. I'm assuming that's going to be root module, probably for soil. Yeah. So destroys a non-creature permanent. Seed and stem can come later. Playing the additional land is not necessarily what you need right now. Wow, actually great top deck here in the 4-mana version of Atal the Shroudmaker. Probably less counterspells to deal with. Kaiyu's been playing around them for a while. I'm just going to remind Kayiu to set Atal to 4/4. Kayiu knows. I don't think I have to remind Kayiu. And this nice thing is that Atal is still in the graveyard, reanimatable for later. Do we have a reanimate piece? I think we have Cecilius, right? I think if Cecilius made it into the deck. Celestial Concordance can get out a 4/4 White Angel with Vigilance. If flying in Vigilance next turn, if we can find a 5th, or you can keep it as a backup for a board wipe. But here we're at what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 is already some of our bigger top ends. Salome here is actually quite scary with 6, right? Lets us do -4 to destroy all creatures. And because, oh, well, we wouldn't get our second spell. So I wonder if we are going for the board wipe mode here. Maybe. Oh, yeah, +1. Draw a card, untap up to 2 lands. Okay, we are going to go for the board wipe because we're going to go cast our second spell here. We're going to go Tendril Snare, I would imagine, to exile a creature an opponent controls. I'm assuming. Are we going for Exhaustive Harvest instead on the ramp? No, okay, so Tendril Snare. It was the token, though, so like it poofs, which is fine. And the fact that each player can get a basic land card into play tapped is actually quite good for Kayiu. Either the triple black, yeah, there it is. And Salome went for the other +1 draw card, untap up to 2. We're tapping those 2. Are we just playing out Exhaustive Harvest here? Yes, we are. Are we going to go for all 4 modes, or are we just doing 2? I'm assuming, yeah, okay. So Forest and Ramp, great card. Do we have a duel that's a forest? We do. There it is, a Shifting Glade. Okay, well, the ramp is real. We haven't even fired off Seed, but the 5 mana is not horrible. Not letting Solom get up to the -8. I agree with that. We're willing to pay 4 here in Celestial Concordance to get out our Angel with Flying and Vigilance. If Solom wants to -4 and destroy all creatures, that is a possibility. Picking up Android Bodega here. We also had Field Tender, which is kind of like a landfall, good value card here. Should probably make a note to fix the crop again. Token should not be on its own line like that, so. Alright. White-blue. Are we floating a little bit? +1. Drawing a card, untapping. In Dire Straits is pretty good. The backside is absolutely back-breaking. Thankfully, Colonel Quarantine is here. That's going to actually make quite a big difference. But yeah, there's a lot of options. There's a lot of mana. So, I mean, even a card like Lian Taizi is going to be huge. Can bring back, with different mana values, you've got your 2s, 1s, 3s. A lot of 2, actually. Not great on that value. Bodega is nice. It can do a lot. Alright, that's the first spell. And we're going for the draw card here. So the way Spirited works is you can ignore like the cost, which is, the tap discard, the tap pay 2 life, or the tap sack. So you can either get 4 life, a 1/1, or a draw card. So very powerful card. And then essentially becomes a trading post type deal afterwards. You're probably going to want to find some way to protect Salome here. Salome is like just absolutely fantastic. There's in Dire Straits. Okay, draw 2, put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. And once we reconstruct, or at least when Nyx reconstructs, because 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. How close are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we're not quite there, but we will get there. There's some lands in the form of Ancestral Glade and Flooded Morass. Glade is neat. Essentially fixes all your basics so they can all tap for green, which is really nice for cards like Root Module and if you really need it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Megalo Kraken, that's for sure. This enters or attacks, you can reveal the top X cards of your library. So, yeah, we had the -4 to wipe the board, unfortunately, here for the Angel. Kraken here is going to cast a non-creature spell with mana value X or less, where X is its power, I believe, right? So, looks like a fizzle. What is it? Hidden Garden Entrance, lands, Cosmic Coalescing would have done nothing, and then Fulguration would have wiped your own board, so. Alright, Kayiu conceded that one, didn't draw anything. I guess Colonel Quarantine wasn't going to be enough, and then Salome was going to be able to activate the ultimate here, so kind of in a tight pinch. Kayiu was really fighting from behind, so I started with a much smaller hand. I didn't quite check if it was like a multi-5, multi-6, or even less, but honestly did fine considering how that was going. Over on this side, Augur is absolutely beating face here on Nat. 20 life to 5. Wow, okay. I don't know if it's just Warfield putting in the work, but it's doing something. Okay, so hey, speaking of black, there it is. Cecilius of Wicked Ways. That is the remove all counters from target permanent. Maybe it came in from the sideboard. I actually don't know. But, +1 remove all counters from target permanent is exactly how you want to be killing a Salome. You've got 1, 2 lands here. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Was that a mulligan? Kayiu shuffles. Oh, draw 7 and then shuffles. Okay, I see what happened. Yeah. So it was a mulligan to 6, but that's fine. Early play here in Karatui Privileged Sun. If Kayiu can empty his hand quickly, this card will be fine. Whenever a player discards a card, put a counter on it. I mean, the Demon Cycling was probably there to find, like, Jijin, but, like, while you have it in hand, you might as well. 3 mana, we're going to have Evolution's End. If we can get to 4, Graz is going to start doing some work, so. Early ramp here, lots of fixing. It's nice to see all these fetches, everything. I guess the landfall triggers on Field Tender won't be too hard to do next turn. I'm assuming that's what we're going to do. I don't think it's going to be something else. What is it? We're going to 3. We could go to 4. 4 does mean we could get an early Realm Crossers. Honestly, flying Ward 2 and the Tambo is quite good. It can mill you out if you're not careful, if you put too many Tambos into play. If it was like you may draw a card, that would be, you know, a little nicer, but it's nice that it has still have a balance point. Ultimate Surveyor can do quite a lot, especially on artifacts, enchantments, the graveyard, so things to keep in mind. Cecilius here is nice as well, but not exactly what we want right now. We probably want some cheaper stuff, but Evolution's End early is going to be nice. We just got to be careful here with the Ward 2. But if it's Field Tender that comes out, I'm assuming that's not going to last a long time. So there's not like there's not really like a resolution point here. Barren Desolation comes in. The Field Tender's land enters ability triggers. In response, you could fire off Evolution's End, but maybe you want to keep it for something scary like Salome. Which we're going to get to not too long if we're playing out Ocean Monastery here. I mean, your 2/2 can block out these 1/2s and these 1/1s in the meantime, so. Alright, so Peasants as far as the eye can see. Let's hope for a land. It's not a land, unfortunately. Kind of get stuck here on these 5/4 drops. But you're not too far behind. Honestly, Evolution's End here is pretty big. Yes, you've got another blue source here. If you can find a black source with your Ocean Monastery from the graveyard off of your Field Tender, there it is. Paying a lot of life, though. Nick's already down to 12. That could, you know, cause some problems if a Jejun can come out of nowhere, but the white, like the quadruple black on that mode is quite hard to do. So, there's Realm Crossers. The word means we can't just fire off an Evolution's End at it, so. Oof. Tough draws, honestly. Drawing all the top end here. It can happen. There's really not much you can do in a situation like this. There's the Ocean Monastery going off again. I'm assuming that's going to be for a black source here. Yep, in Flooded Morass. It's really funny how we're seeing like this big 5-color deck. If you like this kind of stuff, stick around for next month. There'll be opportunities to do something similar with lots of multicolored cards. So. Lands for days. Thankfully, a Salome here is going to get Evolution's End, but I think if Kayiu draws another non-land or it's not something that he can play, I'm assuming it's not going to last very long. So you've got your 2/2. You might as well eat one of the 1/1s. You're going to take 6 here, go to 14. Tambo is going to get created. There it is, beginning of your upkeep. If you draw a card, if you control a scout. By the way, Ultimate Surveyor is a scout, so it does quite a bit. I don't know what happened here. All right. Kayiu was just checking the top. That's rough. It's rough when a match ends like that, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Sometimes you draw the wrong side of your deck, but yeah. So, a bit of a short one, but it was a good one. What we're going to do is, just because it was really early, we're just going to see how this match is, and then we'll wrap it up for the end here. We've got, what, some Reanimate, or probably just the value here off of Legion. Nat here, I'm guessing this is game 2, right? Because we were seeing Augur in the lead here. Inner Thoughts, Way of Water. Okay, yeah, it was the deck we had seen before. Yeah, lovely stuff. Thanks again for sticking around. I know that one was a short one, but hopefully you had a good time. If this looks interesting, you know where to find us. It's free to play. We'd love to have more players. We can easily support as many pods as we can. So take it easy. Thanks again, and have a good one. Take care.